Hi everybody, I'm Jack and this is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Today we're going to talk about getting started on a raw vegan lifestyle. I know lately I've been having a lot of people that are talking like they're new to this lifestyle, and even for people that aren't new to this lifestyle, this might help you work out a few kinks, work out a few problems you might have been having along the way. Now, I don't know, I'm not going to throw out every scenario, every possibility out there, so, as I'm talking to you, I don't know where you're starting. If you're a heavy meat eater, if you don't eat meat at all, if you consume dairy, if you do this or that. But just try to take some of this information and use the generalities and try to apply it where you can. That's all, that's all it's about. The first thing I would say, and I'll go on about like some of the other videos I've talked about, you want to start strong in the morning. If you would do exactly what I told you to do, I would almost advise, like, get up first thing, drink 32 ounces of water. That's gonna, some people, I'm not necessarily, after I drink 32 ounces of water, I'm not hungry right that second. So, maybe you want to wait half an hour, an hour. Then you want to start eating. And, okay, one of the things I would say is, here's just like possible, like I say, scenarios. One of the first steps I would say to shoot for, if you're new to this lifestyle or if you're trying to get more solid in this lifestyle, and take it in steps. Don't try to be perfect in the beginning. One big step I would say would be just to stay fruit. Stay fruit until lunch. If you can stay fruit until 12, that's a great first start. Now, how are you going to stay on fruit until middle of the day, lunchtime? You're going to have to eat plenty of fruit. Too many people, when they come to this lifestyle, they hear that, just eat fruit, and they'll eat 2 or 3 bananas for breakfast, or maybe they eat a couple of oranges, and that's not a lot of calories. It's not going to stay in their stomach it's not going to satisfy them for very long, and they're going to be, chasing food again. But if you will start out first, have that 32 ounces of water, maybe half hour, hour later, you have that first fruit breakfast, try to get in, it's going to take you a little while, you're not going to start right off the bat. I remember when I used to hear about how many bananas or how much fruit some of these people ate, I'm like, wow, there's no way they're lying. So you don't just start off eating 20-something bananas in a day, but seriously, try to get as much without making yourself uncomfortable in that very first meal of the day. It'll set the pace for the rest of the day. And then anytime you get hungry, look at it, in the beginning too, look at it like like you would treat anything else. You're starting a new program, so you may have to try some little tricks in the beginning that you won't have to do forever. In the beginning, eat that fruit all morning. If you're not around your house, take fruit with you and eat throughout the morning. You might even want to eat throughout the morning when you're not hungry, since you're new to this, just to make sure you're keeping yourself full. Maybe for instance, you start off, I'm going to use bananas, but I'm using bananas more as a unit because, we kind of average out bananas at 100 calories per, depending on the size. But I'm just using that as a unit. Substitute the same amount of fruit or the same equivalent fruit in there calorie-wise. But I'd say, hey, if you can, even starting out, if you can get 6 or 7 bananas for breakfast, get 6 or 7 bananas for breakfast. If you can get another couple, get another 3 mid-morning, you see what I'm saying? You should be able to make it to lunch. I don't know what the food addiction status is for everybody, and some people, I get feedback, and I like the feedback because not everybody's me, and I can only go from my personal experience, but some of this stuff seems like it's really, really easy, and then some people struggle with it, so we all have our different issues that we have to work through on this path. But yeah, I think that would be a great first start. Just focus on getting to noon on just fruit. Just fruit. That's a great first start. Another one, and I'm going to just kind of leave this one open to you. I don't want people, I think too many people tell you, put it into people's heads that they can't do something. Okay, don't be super strict on yourself and don't give yourself a hard time if you can't do certain things. But honestly, I'm one of the ones that believes you could cut out animal products immediately if you really set your mind to it. I think the key is, just like I say, always being full, always being satiated. Because I don't know, I look back and it just was, I love cheese, I love pizza. It just wasn't that hard because I substitute and kept myself, satisfied with other things. So I'd say, okay, fruit to lunch. Try to cut out as many of the animal products as possible. as fast as possible, and then just substitute. And I think for me, and this is just opinion here, I think those fats a lot of times can kind of, in the beginning, can substitute for those animal products. They're a little hardier, they stick to you a little bit longer. So, you know, try maybe in the evenings, try substituting a little bit more fat, like maybe avocado, for what you would normally have as meat. I don't mean necessarily you're going to substitute it, because, you know, usually meat's a main course and avocado is not, but I think if you will get more good healthy fat in the beginning, that might help you not crave the animal products so much. It did me anyway, and I was not eating, like, the fat helped me, but I'll try to, like, I was using a good bit of oil back then. I didn't know about the oil thing, and I thought, oh, it's all healthy oil. And I'm not going to get into the oil. Don't ever ask me about, I'm not getting into one of the oil debates. I don't want to pick up any of the oil locos out there. But yeah, just you know, substitute a little fat in there at night for what you would normally, I mean, not substitute, just add some fat into your dinner at night. In other words, when you're trying to go this, I don't want to see you trying to go low fat in the beginning. I think that's a mistake in the beginning. Now, don't go crazy high fat and eat you know, just live on gourmet, but I think a little fat, especially in the evenings in the beginning, will help you a lot along the way. Kind of jumping around here because I'm not like, I don't want to set like, okay, you do this, you do this, you do this, and then this, because everybody has to kind of figure out their own approach. I'm just trying to throw some things out there. For sure do that first one. For sure do that first one. Stay fruit until lunch. That's the huge start. And that will get your whole program going, because you'll kind of just get used to the fruit thing. And then when you get comfortable having fruit till lunch all the time, you know, then maybe you can extend that. Then maybe at lunch you have a packed green smoothie, a heavy green smoothie though. You know, we don't do these little shishi green smoothies with a banana and a leaf of lettuce and this and that. I'm talking about you have a green smoothie at lunch with minimum 5 bananas. You know, maybe you put some greens in there, you put some seeds in there, and you keep going and you keep going and you keep eating more fruit, more fresh stuff, more raw later and later in the day. Now, if you're not ready yet, if you can do the fruit to lunch, but you're just not ready to keep on just doing fruit throughout the day, salad at lunch. You know, don't be afraid to do a salad at lunch. Don't be afraid to do a salad at lunch and put a little bit of good healthy fat on there. If it keeps you, you know, like I say, this is in the beginning, this is just all about keeping you satiated, full, not getting bored, and not getting to that place where, as much as possible, just don't want you to get to that place where you're like, okay, now I'm kind of lost, now I'm getting hungry, now I'm looking around. You know, have your plan, have your plan. You know, they always used to have like people that carry gum around with them everywhere when they stop smoking. Do what you got to do. Carry your props with you in the beginning. Carry bananas everywhere you go in the beginning. Always have a banana with you, and as soon as you even start, as soon as that first thought comes in about eating something bad, eat that banana. If you still have that thought, eat another one, and keep repeating that until the thought goes away. But you just start putting all these things together, and before you know it, you know, you're mostly there. I think sometimes, and like I say, sometimes I think I'm almost, it may seem like I'm contradicting myself, because I do talk about a gentle transition, but sometimes it's like, okay, you know, when are you going to, you know, at some point you got to transition means you got to jump off. You don't transition forever. And like I say, don't let what others say get into your head like you have to be so slow. Some people can stop I would not say go, I would more focus on getting the animal products and the processed out of your diet before worrying about the level of raw you're at whatsoever. That's like in the beginning, how much percentage raw you are shouldn't even be something in your head, in your conversations. But anyhow, all of those together, I think those are like good starts. Like, it's just about doing it, grinding it out every day. It's not about finding this plan or this perfect way of doing it, or all these steps. Like if you do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. It's about you finding your way. It's about grinding out every day. It's about figuring out on the fly, on the go, solutions to what little problems you have, what temptations you have, what triggers you have, identifying those triggers. It's basically, this video is kind of talking about putting it all together about a bunch of videos that I've done. It's not that hard. Don't get psyched out by it. It's just about you deciding to have an approach and doing the work and working your way through it. But and anyhow, like I said, this can be, you may not have any ambitions to be a fully raw vegan, but I think all of us that are in the high-carb vegan world, everybody like wants to eat more fresh fruit and fresh vegetables. It's just like, some of us eat cooked at night, some of us don't. No big deal. Love you anyway. Anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like it, give me a thumbs up. Hope you'll subscribe to the channel. I'd appreciate if you'd share this one, because I know there's always, there's a lot of beginners out there looking for information on how to get started. So, week's almost over. Hope you guys are doing well, and I love each and every one of you. Peace.